it's not every day that we get to chat to people who have created a video game. So I was wondering if you could start off by telling us a little bit, first of all, about Mini Mammoth Games, because it's absolutely, I find it really amazing that we've got an Australian company that's able to make games like this. So congratulations, but tell us a little bit about Mini Mammoth Games.
So Mini Mammoth Games, we're a small business that we started up last year. We've altogether our team of 8. We've been studying at the Academy of Interactive Entertainment, so a tertiary education place specializing on video games. So we're all studying there in different areas, and for our third year, there's an optional third year where you can apply and get into a course to learn about business. So that's what we all did. So through that, we built up our business, started developing games, and are now just continuing to through this year and through the future.
Awesome. So when did you know that you wanted to get into game development? Because I know for myself, I knew quite early on that I wanted to do radio, but I was told at high school that that wasn't a viable career option and I should explore other options. So when did you make that decision that you wanted to get into game development, and what was that like for you at school once you'd made that decision?
I think for everyone on our team, it's probably a slightly different time for everyone. For me personally, I'm one of the programmers on the team, so I guess just throughout my childhood, I've always enjoyed video games. I've played a lot of them. But then throughout high school in particular, I took up the IT course there and really enjoyed the programming side of it. And so those fairly naturally fell hand in hand. And so just when I found out that it's sort of a career I could pursue, I was tentative at first, unsure about the job propositions afterwards. But once I started studying it full time, it was felt right. So I kept that up, and yeah, really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
I don't know when exactly I decided it was the right, but somewhere along that path.
Awesome. So how about for you, David? When did you make that decision that getting involved with video games was going to be a career for you?
So I was about 10 years old, I think.
Yeah.
I'm now 32 and going strong with that plan of 10-year-old me. It's been a long journey.
Yeah. So
it's been good.
So tell us a little bit about this game, Critter Capture. Where did the idea first come about for you guys?
So the principal programmer on that game, Cameron, he loves like catching critters and stuff like that. Like he was really into bugs, I guess, when he was a kid or something. So as you've seen with our quote, super keen to make that specific type of game. And then halfway through it, I think he changed a bit of his vision because he was working with our Anya and another designer, that was Eddie. And so it went from being this sort of isometric game where you just circled one part of the screen and became obviously the top-down capture of today with all these cute little buggies. Contribution to it. I think originally they intended to have like centipedes and other creepy crawlies, and Anya was like, I'm having none of that. I want this much cuter. So
yeah.
So
Tyler, tell us a little bit about how that development goes from having that original idea for the game to then actually getting it to the point where it's available for people to download. What's that process like, that development process?
So this has been a fairly long development, I suppose, for a mobile game, considering we've stretched it out a bit to give. Usually, it's you come up with the concept. So in this case, it was the circling of critters, and then you prototype with that, see how it feels. After we got that working, we gave it to some people to test and got their feedback on it. Which was really insightful as to what they enjoy, what wasn't working, But once you start getting that, you then just build upon it, add more features, as well as just polishing up the features you've already got, as well as, putting in the new art, the new designs, and slowly building it up over time. So that's really what happened over the first few months of development, and then we had a few months hiatus, to us 2 months to add more to it, polish it more, fix bugs before our full release, which came out just last week.
Yeah. So, David, Tyler talked a little bit there about fixing up bugs and things like that. We saw a very high-profile game get released out onto the market this year where there were so many errors with it that they ended up having to recall the game. How do you make sure that that doesn't happen to your product?
I mean, certainly, I assume you're talking about Cyberpunk.
Yep.
Which that's a particularly poignant little project. They had 8 or 9 years, which is part of the reason why that stands out. You're building a game in a month. Like, our intent is to make a minimum viable product in that time, and then we push it out to post-release, and their job is just to focus bug fixing and quality of life and getting it up to that standard. But it's an ever-evolving process. Our products are designed to be worked on long-term. So if we do get bugs, which we almost certainly will because they're big projects and it's quite hard to get that all sorted, but we will keep working on the project so that our customers know that those bugs will be addressed. Like, it's just part of that process for us.
Yeah. So, Tyler, how many hours have you already spent playing the game? Like, do you find yourself playing it, or do you find yourself kind of almost being like a filmmaker that goes, nah, I can't watch my own movie now, it's completed?
I mean, we have to play the game through development, just to make sure. But I do still play it from time to time when I'm not busy making other games, just for fun. I personally really enjoy what we've ended up with, as well as I suppose that also comes into additional bug tests. So it's useful at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. So where can people actually get this game? Like, where can they get it to download it and play it? And what do they need to play it? Are we talking about a mobile phone game here? Are we talking about a PC game? What are we talking about?
Critter Capture is on Android and iOS. For Android, you can get it from the Google Play Store, and for iOS, it's just you should be able to find it if you just search it up. Otherwise, we have links to it on our website, minimammothgames.com, as well as links to all our other early access titles.
Awesome. So, David, is this a game that the whole family can play? Like, can I give this to my child in the backseat of the car and get them to play it on a long trip, or is it a game kind of designed for older people?
Generally, our intent is to aim at like late teenagers up to like your 30s and 40s sort of thing. It's very much I'm on the bus playing it,
yeah.
But it's obviously a very cute looking game, so we wanted to make sure there was nothing in there that would be a problem if children played it. So you certainly can if you want to.
Awesome. So, Tyler, you mentioned about other projects there as well. If any of our listeners do want to follow what Mini Mammoth Games are doing and in the future, where's the best place to follow you guys? Have you guys got socials and things like that they can follow?
Yeah, so we've got, we're on the major social media. We're on Twitter at Mini Mammoth Game. We've got a Facebook page as well, and an Instagram where we post updates about our games, as well as just any new titles we're working on.
Awesome, and we'll put a link there with the website as well for people who are getting this offline rather than on the show. I guess to finish up, David, is there anything you'd like to say to our listeners out there before they download the game and get after these little critters?
I hope you enjoyed it. We've worked really hard on it, and if you do have any feedback, feel free to leave it for us and we'll work on that for you.
Definitely. Well, David, Tyler, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure learning about Mini Mammoth Games, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners out there are going to be downloading Critter Capture over the next couple of days as well.
Fantastic. Thanks, Dave.
Awesome. Thank you